Here's Roord, but for Jonsdottir. Up against Catley, settled for the corner.
Well done, Steph Catley, because Jonsdottir, I said it before, once she gets going, she's really difficult to stop.
Proper squeaky bum time now here at the Emirates. Rauch will take this. Player in her 4th season at the club after a move from Turbine Potsdam, one of the great names of German football, towards that near post again. And it will be a goal kick. Bremer can't believe it.
I thought that was actually a corner, but you could see they were trying to do that exact corner again. But to Bremer from Rauch on that front post, but Arsenal defended that very well. I actually thought that was a corner, but it's gone for a goal kick.
We've had 5 of 7 additional minutes played. Do Arsenal have one more chance left in them to have a go at Wolfsburg? 7-time German champions. 4 by Hendrich. Away by Catley. As far as Wilms. And now Pauline Bremer. And this cross is cut out by Wibbermoy. Velti. Wilms staying forward here for Wolfsburg. Jambiti keeping it cool.
That ball from Bremer was actually quite strange because she underhit it and it needed to be overhit. You can see Alexander Popp on the back post was ready for the ball.
Arsenal, who have never beaten Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg, who beat Arsenal en route to the 2013 final. There's history to repeat itself here. As Jonsdottir sends this one in. Proper test for Zinsberger, and she has passed it.
Well done, Zinsberger. Exactly what you need in those situations. You know, there's only 30 seconds to go in this additional time. That's exactly what you need your goalkeeper to do. Come out and receive the ball.
But it's off for Hurtig to chase. As Janssen puts it out, and maybe one last chance for Arsenal here to steal it right at the end. Rafaela, coolly done. It's got to get forward. It's got to get in there. Velti. There's not going to be time. We will go on here at the Emirates. Fascinating it has been for 97 plus minutes. And Jambiti coming back to head in an equaliser for 2-2 and 4-4 on aggregate after Alex Popp had nudged Wolfsburg in front just short of the hour mark. You do not want to go anywhere. Leanne Sanderson, 97 minutes, gripping stuff, but how much will Arsenal have left in the tank, do you feel?
That's my only concern. I'm so proud of the players. You know, they've had everything thrown at them over these 2 legs, but they've showed great resilience and great, you know, physicality to come back into this game mentally as well. You know, Wimroth has also gone out with that injury, so that's in the back of your mind as a player as well. You know, they're teammates. There's so many injuries within this team, but they dug deep last week and have to dig a little bit deeper this week. And I've no doubt that's what Jonas Siedewald was saying to them. You know, they're in a good place. They came from behind in Wolfsburg and they can do it. You know, Arsenal could definitely do it, but my only concern is I think this plays into Wolfsburg's hands. I think they're fitter. I think they seem to have more. You know, they've still got Brand, Hegring on the bench. They could bring into this game. Arsenal will have to maximise the players they have out there right now. So that's my only concern.
In terms of the physical aspect, but is this now more a mentality game for Arsenal now?
I definitely think it is. I think Wolfsburg have been in these situations way more than Arsenal have been.
Yes.
You know, so I think they're mentality monsters when it comes to that. But I've been so proud of this Arsenal team. You know, the resilience they've shown within this competition and a WSL this season. And we've spoken a lot about their injuries, but it is a factor. And they've shown great mentality to play in these games. And I think Katie McCabe again tonight has been brilliant. You know, Lotte Wubbenmoy, Jambiti. Some of the players having to maximise and play out their skin, and they're doing that. And it's brilliant to see. So they need to dig a bit deeper now. 30 minutes, maybe plus penalties to go.
Well, the players getting rehydrated, ready to go again for another 30 minutes. Let's have another look then, shall we, at the goals so far here at the Emirates. And it all started so well for Arsenal.
It did. It was great anticipation from Stina Blackstenius. You know, it was a complete mix-up between Hendrick and Frooms, but I like the anticipation from Stina Blackstenius because most players would have just let that one go. I like this ball, you know, fantastic. Alexander Pop to Jill Roord, absolutely nice cushion header. I did have questions of Zinsberger, but maybe I'm slightly being too critical, you know, but I think it's a really good finish from Jill Roord. And here, you know, Alexander Pop from Rauch on the front post. You know, you've got to ask questions of the defending, but I do think it's great movement last minute. And here, Jem Beattie, brilliant header. Lotte Wubbenmoy keeps the play alive, and it's a brilliant header from Jem Beattie because there wasn't much pace on the ball. We've seen so many of the goals checked through VAR, but, you know, Arsenal showed great resilience to come back into this game. Jem Beattie went up front, and now she's in the back line again. But you can see these Wolfsburg players are already out there ready to go. This is exactly what that means to them. Look at them.
Arsenal just making them wait. Wolfsburg, they nearly never actually made this last season's inaugural group stage of the UEFA Women's Champions League. They had to come through extra time and penalties to beat Bordeaux in the qualifying stage. As Catley might just be feeling it. They've got to put all of those pains behind them and look forward to the gains that could be had over the next 30 minutes. Jem Beattie has been there, done it, got the t-shirt in her career. Alex Pop too. And what a say she has had on this semi-final, coming back from that injury.
You could see this Wolfsburg team meant business. You know, they were just out there ready to go in their formation about 2 or 3 minutes before Arsenal, so they're certainly going to come at them. And you can see Steph Catley was receiving a massage there to try and get their legs going because Arsenal have really maximised everything they have, and I'm so proud of these players. Just one last push and hopefully they can do it. But Wolfsburg, they're just so good. They really are. They don't even look tired yet, and that's my only worry.
So here we go then. Here we go then. Into extra time. Arsenal and Wolfsburg still cannot be separated. 2-2, 4-4 on aggregate. It has been 2 fabulous matches so far in 90 minutes, and still we need to go on here at the Emirates. But what do Arsenal have left compared to these hungry Wolves, hungry for another appearance at a European final?
This is also when the substitutes in Hurtig and Kool will have to come into play because their legs are fresher, and going into extra time, that's certainly going to be something that will certainly help within the team as well. But Wolfsburg, I said it before, they don't look tired at all. They just look like they're ready to go. They almost look like they've just started the game from the first minute.
Here is Hurtig. Has come back from injury. Important time for Arsenal. Rauch here has got to be careful. Oh, cool. Oh, she keep her cool now. Rauch recovers well. Once here. How about that for a takedown? Oh, lots of Wubbenmoy.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Lotte Wubbenmoy. Takes it down and does a nice little step over. How's that for a centre-back? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Also needed extra time to get past Manchester City in the Conti Cup this season. They will go on and win the competition. Here is Catley. Led by Vasmut. Hurtig. next to hold it up. He will get their first pop will. Now Janssen. This is a Wolfsburg team with the winners running right through the heart of it. They've been there and achieved the great prize itself of becoming European champions. But when you've got Katie McCabe in your team, anything is still possible.
It definitely is, and I think both coaches and both managers wanted to get this wrapped up in normal time with the substitutions they made as well. You know,
well, it's a great recovery from Wibben-Moy. Put a fair few of those in today. And they can go wide again. And wide they do for Catley. Vasmuth having to track back now. Rafaela. Velti. Beattie is the Arsenal crowd. These most passionate fans are right behind their team again. Marnham. Hendrick is appealing for a handball there from Frida Marnham, but the referee's not interested in any of those appeals.
Yeah, I don't think that was a handball. I think it's interesting because this crowd certainly are not tired. Chris, you can hear the roar from the crowd when Steph Catley got that ball there. And that's the type of energy that they need. You know, you can see Katie McCabe is stretching every opportunity they get because they've just run themselves into the ground. They really have.
Well, the king is coming home. Canelo returns to Mexico, defending his super middleweight titles against John Ryder. May the 6th live on DAZN and DAZN pay-per-view. And a week later, KSI is in action. Back to fight undefeated pro boxer Joe Fournier, again live on DAZN and on pay-per-view. Catley now. Vasmuth across. He's had an up and down season. That's Tabea Vasmuth for Wolfsburg. He's the top goal scorer last season for the She-Wolves. Only Alexia Putet has actually scored more than her in the UEFA Women's Champions League. Injuries and fitness haven't helped her at all this campaign.
I'm surprised that Brand hasn't come on as well for Wolfsburg, especially I've expected her to have come, especially coming out of the lineup. Sometimes you expect players that come out of the lineup to go straight back in as soon as there would be the first substitute off the bench, but it hasn't worked that way. But we could see her still come into this game. I think, you know, maybe a substitution could be the difference in this game, but I think Wolfsburg, again, they just look like they're ready to still continue to play. They really do. They don't look tired at all.
Here's Wilms. Electric pace. Blamer with the touch. Oh, she just couldn't get it out of her feet. Full credit to Pelliver as well. He was right there, right beside her. Vasmuth for Wilms, who is still forward here. Wilms' ball in towards Jonsdott here. That's very, very coolly taken by Zinsberger.
Well done, Zinsberger. Great take. Fantastic. It was a decent ball into the box, but that's exactly what you need. You need your goalkeeper to be that commanding. Something some people might say is pretty basic, but that's exactly what you need in that situation. I think Arsenal have defended this game very, very well at times, you know, but at this moment in time, they've got no one running the channels. And as you can see, they're turning over the ball quite a lot. Both teams are, but Arsenal are just not running the channels anymore because they don't have Stina Blackstenius to be able to do that.
Well, Wibben-Moy is taking it on here. But it provided one assist so far. And towards Lina Hurtig. As Hurtig started to sit it out of play.
Well done, Lotta Wibben-Moy. Absolutely brilliant. You know, this is exactly what's needed. Somebody to draw the players out. Especially it could be any player on this field of play. And you can see individually a lot of the Arsenal players are trying to stand up and be counted. I think she's been absolutely brilliant today. I really do. She's not had many minutes this year. She's been one of those players that's had to fill in a lot when someone's been injured, and that's not an easy thing to do. Going to a European Championship, yes, they won it, but she didn't play a minute, and that's not an easy role to play. And fair play to Lotta Wibben-Moy because she's been brilliant tonight. She really has.
Yeah, she did come in to cover for Millie Bright during the last set of international games. McCabe here. Well, after this one, back to domestic action. Leicester up next for Arsenal, who seem to have Turned their season upside down, giving it a real good go down at the bottom of the WSL. Trip to Brighton and Everton on the horizon as well for the Gunners. Wolfsburg will take on Köln in their next game. They'll be playing Eintracht Frankfurt. Eintracht Frankfurt's main stadium as well coming up. Hurtig! Top save from Melle Holmes to deny Lina Hurtig, who could have been a match winner.
Brilliant save from Frooms that came out of nowhere. It was a fantastic press. You could see Marnham press the ball down, really good ball in, and Hurtig caught the ball very well. I don't think there's anything else she could have done in that situation apart from put the ball in the back of the net, but she's done well to get across, and it's a good save in the end by Frooms with her feet.
She has a reputation, Lina Hurtig, for a one-touch finishing. And that very nearly got this place rocking and rolling again. Lina Hurtig is an Olympic runner-up in Tokyo. There she is again. Marnham taking over. Just couldn't pull it back in time as Wolfsburg got bodies back and in the way.
So close. I actually thought that Hurtig should have continued her run. Frida Marnham tried to come in on her right foot. Maybe she should have used her left foot, which allowed Janssen to be able to recover. But brilliant play from Arsenal again.
What a reaction from the fans. What a noise inside the Emirates. In from Pelleva. Oh, and there is Wubben-Moy. Whistle has gone. It's not going to count. As Lynn Wilms seems to be suffering on the deck.
It's a difficult ball. Pelleva puts in a fantastic ball with a lot of pace on it.
That's Hurtig there, isn't it? Just through the back.
You could see there wasn't that much in it, but that's always going to be a foul, you know, in that situation. I'm glad that Lotte Wubben-Moy put it in the back of the net, because you never know on VAR, they could check it.
Absolutely.
So she might as well put it in the back of the net, and fair play to her, but I think it's a definite foul.
Janssen. Peter's got to be aware. It's not a bit too much on it back for Zinsberger, as Jule Brand is going to be introduced very, very soon for Wolfsburg.
You can see Vaswood there trying to get in behind. It was one ball. They're usually quite direct, Wolfsburg. They can also go short as well. We saw in their goal last week in the first leg, you know, it was one ball, was able to beat that line of defence. You can see Vaswood was trying to get in there.
Marnham, nothing wrong with that. Vince can bring it away. Jonsdottir with her arm up this near side. And Wilms is looking for the Icelandic. He's going to have to chase for this. But he's not going to get there. Svedis Jonsdottir.
That's asking a lot of Jonsdottir. I think if it was in the first half and the legs are fresh, maybe she might have got there on the end of it, but that's asking a lot.
Talking of fresh legs, it will be the end of Jonsdottir, and Jule Brand is going to be coming on. First ever winner of the Golden Girl Award, Jule Brand, faced Arsenal for Hoffenheim last season, scored against them. Arsenal lost 4-1 in Zinsheim. Been a recent scorer against Brazil for Germany. I think it's been a tough debut season as a Wolfsburg player for Jule Brand, but what say can she have on this one here tonight?
I think that's a really good substitution for Wolfsburg. I was calling for her around 15-20 minutes ago. I think she can offer something, you know, a player who started in the game last week, came out of the lineup for Alexander Popp. You know, she probably didn't expect to be coming into the game in extra time, but sometimes, you know, you get your opportunity when you least expect. Fresh legs is going to be difficult for Arsenal to contain her.
Fascinating stuff on this record-breaking day It's a record-breaking crowd, in fact, for Wolfsburg in the first leg, for a home Wolfsburg women's match. They've been treated to something else here tonight. Catley has been penalised.
Yeah, it was a foul, and Lena Oberdorf, you could see nothing malicious in that. It's just a free kick.
Janssen. Now Jule Brandt. Away from Kuhl. The power that Brandt does bring to this attack for Wolfsburg. There's Wibbermoy. Pallava. McCabe. McCabe goes long. Martin. Oh, away from two. Hurtig is not going to get on the end of that. As Wills came across, read the situation well.
Friedemann does absolutely brilliantly there to win the ball. You know, you can see the legs are cramping up a little bit. Great tenacity to come away from here with the ball, especially this late on in extra time first half. But you could see, that's an example. I keep saying it. If Stina Blackstenius was in the lineup, or she was still in the lineup, that would have been a ball behind that she could have got on the end of. Hurtig doesn't have the pace, so we're going to have to adapt to that a little bit.
She has been a true leader for Arsenal this season, Frida Maanum. Really has lifted her game in the absence of Beth Mead and Viviana Miedema. Here's BT.
I think that spell over Christmas time as well, when Miedema was taken out the lineup, I was quite surprised Jonas Sidwell did that and put Maanum in there, and she did amazingly well. I would never leave Miedema out of my lineup at all, ever, but Frida Maanum came in, and I think she did way better than Miedema expected.
It's a bit of Asmuth. He's going to get a yellow card here. Yeah, there's two injuries to Miedema and Mead within a month of each other. Quite extraordinary. Asmuth totally taking out Catley there. That's Hurtig. Oh, Mella Forms has to be careful.
Didn't look convincing. You can see what Fromm was saying to Janssen as well. It didn't look convincing at all. You could see Kuhl was trying to anticipate, similarly to what Blackstenius did in the first half.
Well, that is a first 15 minutes that's flown by here in extra time. Hurtig to hold it up, gets the decision just to frustrate those gathering pack of wolves around her.
I think in the second half of extra time as well, we might see Alexandra Popp go a little bit higher up the field of play. I think she's had a great game today, but I think she's been too deep at times and not been able to impact the game in the final third.
Here's Hurtig, who's at the best moment of the first half of extra time so far.
Yeah, it was unlucky, got across the front post, and it was a good save in the end from Froms, but a fantastic run from Hurtig and a great ball from Maanum.
There she is. Jill Roord. That'll be that. That's still parity. Katie McCabe throwing herself in front of everything that has come her way. Jonas Eidevall getting every little bit out of his players. It's still 15 to go here at the Emirates. 2-2, 4-4 on aggregate. Which way does the pendulum swing in the second half of extra time? Leanne Sanderson, is this a flip of the coin moment now, would you say, whoever is to go through with this one?
I'd say so. I think the way that Wolfsburg set out in the first half of extra time, they were ready to go. You know, I've said it many times before, they're almost like machines, but Arsenal could have to be so proud of what they've done today and last week, you know, staying in these games when nobody expected them to. A lot of talk has been about the injuries, which I completely understand, but the fact they're in this position against one of the best teams in the world still, in Wolfsburg, with all the injuries they've got, shows you the mentality that they have. But I think, you know, Arsenal will be the happier team if this goes all the way. I expected Wolfsburg to take it to another level in extra time, and there's still a lot to play for. There really is, and I can't call this one yet. I really can't. I said Wolfsburg in extra time. I expected them to have taken the game and put it to bed by now, but Arsenal have been so good. They really have.
Well, after tonight, we'll know the finalists, and don't forget, every game next season live only on DAZN, DAZN.com, DAZN app. Every single Women's Champions League game live. Select games shown free on DAZN's YouTube channel.
Jonas Cedarveld looked like he actually wanted to play in the game. He walked all the way out to the centre of the field with Jem Beattie and Lotte Wubben-Moy, and you can see the passion, you know, coming from him. It's brilliant.
Well, the lights are on around us from the fans, reminiscent of what we saw at the Camp Nou. That record-breaking occasion in the Clásico last season. An awesome occasion it was for Barcelona then. What about Arsenal here? Against all the odds. So Marina Hegering is on for Wolfsburg. Or Maschine Hegering, as she is known in Germany. And off we go then. 15 minutes to find a winner, or we go to penalties. And Janssen finding Julebrand. And Pauline Bremer now for Rauch and for Julebrand again. And in films the player off, so straight swap of this right back position as Hegering plays it in. Awkward one for McCabe. Pop cut out by Kuhl, who will chase onto this. That has done very well to get the better of Alex Pop there.
Yeah, Katie McCabe dealt with that very well as well, because it was a really good ball into the box from Hegering, but I felt, you know, Alexander Pop recovered very well in that situation, and Kuhl came away with the ball and it's gone out for a throw. But I think both teams, you know, they want to win this game, but they don't want to also leave spaces in behind, because you could see, you know, Jem Beattie might push up again like she did before she scored that goal, but maybe they don't want to leave themselves open to receiving a goal, because I think in the second half of regular time, Jill Roord was certainly getting on the ball way more than she has in the extra time, and as the game's gone on, because she was really good in the second half.
It's good play from Marnham. Oh, and away from two. He's kept it in play. Marnham's cross is deep, and too deep, and out it goes for a goal kick.
Unlucky Frida Marnham. She does so well there, you know, in second half of extra time. The fitness levels that are required at this point, this is why they do all the fitness throughout the season, ready for these types of games. Most of them could get through 90 minutes easily, but it's these types of moments, mentally and physically, are so draining in these moments. So the fact that she could go past two players like they wasn't even there at this point is absolutely brilliant. Just a poor ball in the end.
There is Hegering. And to think that Marina Hegering has just come back from recent struggles with knee injury. Saw her miss the international break. The winner of the old UEFA Women's Cup as a 19-year-old with Duisburg in 2009. Proven winner. Janssen gets it back again here. Dominika Janssen. Rauch. And Janssen again. Wolfsburg's so good with the ball. It'll be even more draining for Arsenal. Julebrand. Fine Roord on the edge. And the more that Wolfsburg do push on, there'll be gaps there for Arsenal to exploit.
There are, but Palova there just doesn't need to rush that. You can see Hurtig has done a lot of running since she's come into this game, but the ball has to be better. Easier said than done because it is in the second half, and I'm shattered just watching them, Chris. You know, from these levels, I've gone up and down from commentary, from pitch side, and I'm shattered. But they're so inspiring. They really are. You know, to be able to have these types of fitness levels is incredible.
Yeah, Tommy Stroud was saying in the build-up to this one, just the standards that these players are at the moment. He described it as insane. And here is Pop for Brand. Away from McCabe, Brand, too close to Zinsberger.
Poor ball in the end from Brand. She's just come into the game. I thought she showed great spurt there to get past Katie McCabe, and Lotte Wubben-Moy was covering over as well. Looks like Jen Beattie's going down potentially with cramp. We saw her go down in the first half as well.
Absolutely feeling it out there, Jen Beattie. Just a third European start of this season.
Incredible story, really. I mean, Jen Beattie coming back from
ridiculous, really,
having you know, cancer and playing in the same season. There's so many inspirational women out there today. There really are, and she's one of them. Absolutely brilliant.
It'll take a bit to get everybody buying their tickets, and how do you do it on social media? Oh, she would be absolutely itching to be out there, Leah Williamson. Was pulling pints in a local pub. Free kickoff.
Yeah, it's so difficult when you're injured. I've been there myself when my team made the championship in America, and I got injured leading up to the final, and it was like, you know, it was those moments that you just kind of, your role changes. And Leah Williamson, you know, she's England captain. You can see what she's doing there, you know, having these types of conversations and being in amongst it.
Oh, missed by Hendrick. Could prove costly. Madam! Oh, it's a waste.
Yeah, she knows it as well. She has to do better there. You know, I know they're maximising themselves. It's a brilliant ball. Nice weight apart from Pelova in this situation. But this is when Arsenal have to make the most of this. You know, that was a poor effort in the end. She has to take a touch, just erratic, and even put it across goal. Hertig was there as well. But again, good spell from Arsenal.
Still shows that there's something there in the tank, doesn't it? Here's Bremer for Brand. And Jule Brand is off. And she's pretty tricky to stop as well, Jule Brand. Oh, she thought that maybe Paulina Bremer was there in support. McCabe, cool. Nicely done. Pelova. And there's Pop. Now Rood. Alice Pop has stayed down in the centre circle. Bremer, lots of room now for Feli Rauch. Brand waiting for it. Bremer's there. That's brave from her. The full hit for Paulina Bremer. Oh, and it's wide. Great chance for Wolfsburg and for Paulina Bremer. And still we stay at 2-2.
Yeah, she created that out of nothing. It was fantastic play. You could see here, I love this, you know, really brave to get on the end of it, creates it on her left foot. You'd expect to potentially hit the target, but I'll give her the benefit of the doubt because I think she created this and had no angle on it at all. And Lotte Wubben-Moy was there. You can see what it meant to these Wolfsburg players, how close they were. But I think the opportunity that Hoot missed, I think that's the one that will come back to potentially cost them. I really do. That chance that Hoot had in the second half seems so long ago now. That was the one that would have changed the game completely because Wolfsburg would have been away, it would have been 3-1, and it probably would have been game over. But sometimes situations happen in games that you think our luck's in today. But Bremer, I think she created that very, very well.
Well, Tommy Stroud is scratching his head at his team not taking their chances. Pop seems okay to run it off. I'll try taking her out of this game.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Well, you know as well, they was thinking about kicking it out, and then they thought actually we're on the attack, you know, so they continue, but she's definitely not going to come off the field of play. Similar mentality to Katie McCabe, you know, always want to stand up and be counted, and is ready for when the going gets tough, and those are the types of players that you need in your team.
Wolfsburg, 7-time champions, had won 4 in a row before Bayern won it, and then Wolfsburg last season regained their Meisterschale. 2011-12 campaign, the last time that they actually had a trophyless season. Extraordinarily. A yellow card here for Feli Raut. And Katie McCabe.
Yeah, that was a yellow card all day long. Those ones definitely hurt. You know, Raut goes in pretty late, you know, and hits Katie McCabe, and she doesn't stay down very often. You know, Katie McCabe's hurt when she stays down, but you can see here, you know, she does go for the ball. But yellow card and correct decision in the end.
Surprise, surprise, she's up on her feet and in the ear of the referee as well. A journey it has been for Katie McCabe. First steps in the game in Kilnamana back home. The Emirates holds its breath as Marnham sends this in. Pop is there. Right by Claimer, but only as far as McCabe. To an angle for a cross, there is. Oh, it might be over! Holmes, it was! And onto the frame of the goal. Goodness me, that could have been some way to send Arsenal through.
Wow, that was so close. You can see Katie McCabe was going for the cross, and then it nearly dipped over Frooms.
Velting. Oh, well, that just ignites something in Arsenal now, with 5 to go. Holmes was all ends up, wasn't she? Here's Hegering. And now Roord. Just slows things, calms things down for Wolfsburg.
Yeah, she's had a good game. Really, really good. I thought in the second half was exceptional. Kind of faded out, fizzled out a little bit because I think Arsenal closed up the gaps. Leovolti and Marnham started to get a bit closer together, which didn't allow Giroud to get on the ball as much as she did in the second half. But I think she's had a good game.
Speculation as to where she's going to be playing next season, Giroud, but Wolfsburg are confident that she will be continuing in the Frauen Bundesliga with them. Oh, very nearly getting Hegering in behind. Forward now by Hendrich. Wubben-Moy. Palava. Still a bundle of energy. I'll find Hurtig. Oh, and another card is going to be produced here to Steph Catley.
Yeah, that's just an example. You know, Steph Catley, she's given her all today. I think it was a tired tackle in the end. You know, she gave everything. I think in these types of games, your adrenaline starts to kick in and it starts to take over how your body actually feels. But you can see, you know, with these players, Katie McCabe still giving everything, all these players are. And she comes so close here. You know, it was a cross. Maybe she did see Frooms off her line, but in the end, it was almost in. Almost in. You can see she thought it was in. She was almost celebrating.
Well, Barcelona, they did make history in this competition last season, a world record crowd at the El Clasico. But go to DAZN now, check out the brand new documentary about that night, the game that changed football. And June the 3rd, the finale, live on DAZN, the UEFA Women's Champions League final. Rood hits it, deflection on it.
The better option was out wide there to Brand. I felt like, you know, it was always going to be a tired shot. I like the fact she took the opportunity on, but you could see that Brand was running on the left-hand side there.
Even being so close to penalties, are you thinking about that now as a player out there?
You are, and I was always a penalty taker, so I always used to think about that because the way the game's looking, the way it's gone so far, it looks like it's definitely going to it, doesn't it? I mean, I think both teams, once you get to penalties, I do think it becomes, you know, more of a percentage game. I know the goalkeepers certainly enjoy it, but there has to be a loser within it, and it's so unfortunate when it's your team.
And he caught out here, Juleplan for Wolfsburg, across to Bremer! Paulina Bremer! May that just be the goal that sends Wolfsburg to Eindhoven. There where it mattered. Lotte Wuppermoy pickpocketed, and how Wolfsburg have made Arsenal pay.
Wow, football is such a cruel game. I really feel for Lotte Wuppermoy. She loves this club. She's been here for such a long time from a youth. She's been their best player today. She's been so good. And then one moment she gives away the ball. This one situation, Zinsberger gives it to Lotte Wuppermoy. Fair play to Brand, closes it down. It's the tired legs. And then picks out Bremer, and it's a good. You have to be there. People will say it's a tap in, but the movement is there. And I did say, Chris, that there would be a substitution that would make a difference. And both substitutions here combined, I really feel for Lotte Wuppermoy. We were just talking about penalties.
Yeah.
I was saying, this one looks like it's going to penalties. And then, that situation, I really feel for Lotte Wuppermoy because she has been so good today. She really has.
Michelle Agimank is on. A youngster given the opportunity on the biggest stage here of her career. Monham's there as Arsenal look to respond immediately. But here's Oberdorf for Juleplan, who's made a difference since she's come on. And Juleplan, it opens up. Brand. Oh, will Vasmuth get here for Wolfsburg to seal it? And wide it is. That would have absolutely nailed it.
Brand has been brilliant since she's come into this game. I was calling for her a lot sooner, but that's exactly what you need. It's gone out for a corner. It looks like the Arsenal, they gave it a goal kick in the end. It looked like they'd given a corner initially, and then they changed their mind in the end. But, again, I feel for Lotte Wuppermoy. There's still time. There's 3 minutes. There's still chance for another opportunity. But Brand, since she's come into this game, has done exactly what the coach would have asked of her. It's not an easy situation being benched, when you've been in the 11 last week, coming in an extra time, but she certainly had an impact on this game, as Bremer has as well.
3 more minutes for Paulina Bremer, who will depart the club, depart Wolfsburg at the end of this season, having not been offered a new deal. Crikey. Is she to be Wolfsburg's hero? Here's Wuppermoy. Arsenal's through and through. Well, they've got to really go with Wolfsburg now. Catley. There's Pop doing her defensive work, and Hegerink off-road between 2 Arsenal players. It is Arsenal that still have it now. Wuppermoy sends it in for Manham, who is waiting and lurking. It's going to be a goal kick.
That's a corner. I thought that was a corner.
Well, we were all waiting, weren't we, for the decision to be made. Offside, I think, is actually the call.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wolfsburg are so close now. A team who know how to get to finals. A team who know how to win finals. Well, they're going to make a change. Well, they're going to bring on Rebecca Blomqvist, who is another player who will be departing Wolfsburg once the season's out. Jill Broad absolutely playing the game here, taking her time coming off.
She doesn't have to. I mean, vfL is trying to get her off the field to play. I completely get that, because it is frustrating when you need to get a goal, but Jill Broad doesn't have to rush off the field to play. You can see Fromms is in no hurry now to take this goal kick. Arsenal might just have one more opportunity.
Fromms goes long. A gripping encounter in the UEFA Women's Champions League semi-final. Hurtig, absolutely taking out Hegerink there.
It's annoying, but that was a foul. It was a foul.
And then sent tumbling Lena Oberdorf, a yellow card for Pelova.
Hegerink will take her time now as well. You can see, it was a foul from Hurtig.
Confirmation of that card. Referee looks at the watch. And Miller Foams is to clear this as far away from her goal as she possibly can. Long it goes. And the touch on from Pop. There's Havayala. Keep it in this area, Wolfsburg. Vasmuth with Welti. And Welti goes long. Maybe this is their last chance, Arsenal, but back it is with Julebrand, who has been an absolute difference maker since coming on. Oberdorf just waited for the challenge from Hurtig. And will get the free kick, to the displeasure of this record crowd.
Absolutely brilliant play from Julebrand. Brilliant play, holding up the ball, you know, plays it to Lena Oberdorf, ends up drawing a foul, and this is exactly what Wolfsburg will want. You know, they're going to put it into the corner, keep it in there.
That's it. Wolfsburg are in a Champions League final again. Denied at this stage last season, but Eindhoven, here they come. And yet another European final awaits the She-Wolves. They've done it in extra time. Paulina Bremer with the goal that sends them on their way. And just like they did 10 years ago, en route to their first European success, they have crushed an Arsenal dream in front of a record home crowd. And for Wolfsburg, the treble is still on. What a game it has been. And in the end, the celebrations belong to Wolfsburg. Gripping it has been for 120 minutes. Arsenal 2, Wolfsburg 3, and Wolfsburg go through 5-4 on aggregate. Well, Leanne Sanderson, try and wrap all that up.
Firstly, I'm going to say how proud I am of this Arsenal team, because they were absolutely brilliant. They laid everything on the line. Lotte Wubben-Moy was brilliant, and I know she's going to feel that mistake. Steph Catley, they all played their part, the substitutions as well. But this Wolfsburg team, I did say, Chris, that when it got to extra time, I felt like they just had too much. And the substitutions, I said, Brand, I was calling for her all game to come into this game. She came on and put it on the plate for Bremer. And fair play to Wolfsburg, they were brilliant, they really were. But I'm so proud of this Arsenal team, I really am, because they can be really proud of themselves, a lot of injuries.
The team who have lost the last 3 visits to a Champions League final with a chance to stop the rot. Barcelona await the final. Heartbreak for Wubben-Moy and for Arsenal. Joy and delirium for Wolfsburg. Well, the disappointment for the players who couldn't be involved tonight, how much of a difference they would have made to Arsenal. But this record crowd has come to see 2 wonderful football teams go head to head. And quite a story evolving here at the Emirates. Jonas Eidevall, his final messages to his players who have left everything out there. That's what he was calling for. Goodness me, they have given everything, and he could be so proud of his players. But it is Wolfsburg who will go on to Eindhoven. Back to a stadium where Tommy Strooters worked his magic at before. Who won his first ever title as a head coach there. As FC Twente coach, and confirmation of the final then, June the 3rd, Saturday, June the 3rd, Barcelona against Wolfsburg, and a repeat of last season's semi-final will be live for you here on DAZN. The celebrations for Wolfsburg, who in the end left it late, but have done the job against Arsenal, who have beaten Arsenal yet again in a Champions League semi-final. and a chance now of claiming European glory again. So let's get some reaction then. Let's get downstairs with Shaban. She is with Jill Roord.
Jill, congratulations. Are you able to summarise how you feel?